What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. Force here. I've got a commentary for you today. This is going to be a single game here between DeathAngel and BratOK. We are on Metalopolis. We can see here spawning in the 6 o'clock position is BratOK as our red Terran player, and here in the 3 o'clock is DeathAngel as the green Zerg player. So yes, not a series, just a single game here. This is actually, I'm just finishing recording this after my last two prior team commentaries, and you may be wondering, well, you know, why were there only 2 team games today? That's basically all I got. So as I say in the beginning and end of all of my team commentaries, if you guys are Masters level players and you do 2v2, 3v3, or 4v4, send me some replays. I'll get some commentaries up for you. I got a bunch of replays, but they weren't all Masters, and I'm trying to keep the level of play as close to professional as possible, and the best bet's going to be Masters. And so yeah, there you go. We get here now. BratOK moving out with his SCV, scouting the corner of his base. He's actually looking for DeathAngel's Overlord, which typically they're going to send into that, you know, very near position. They're going to move it straight across. So, I mean, normally what we'll see is a Zerg player will move that first Overlord right over here. You can see, however, DeathAngel decided to send his first Overlord directly cross-positional across the map. And again, I say that's interesting just because it's not standard. Normally, you see what I mentioned, that first Overlord goes into that near-air position. And specifically what BratOK did, it would have scouted it out in a typical situation. But anyways, that is neither here nor there. Now we can see right now, pretty standard opening thus far for BratOK. Opened up with that 10 depot, then 12 racks and 13 refinery. Looks like he will be moving out right now with that SCV scout and should be moving straight on into DeathAngel's base. DeathAngel, you know, in a close position, going for fast expand. This is actually going to be a little bit scary. I'm pretty happy though, for DeathAngel at least, I'm pretty happy that BratOK didn't open with the 2 racks, because 2 racks in this close of a position, oh, that is scary, scary stuff. Would have been very, very hard for him to actually maintain this expo. And actually, BratOK, oh my gosh, I think he's going to start to drop a bunker. There it is. And we can see right now DeathAngel is not aware of this. Why is he not aware of this? Because most professional players are going to send one of their Overlords, usually that second one, to watch over that expo for this very reason. Without that Overlord scouting that high ground, you do not see anything building directly out of that very close proximity to that building while it's going up. So BratOK able to get this up. DeathAngel not aware of it at all, and that first Marine is going right on in. We've got a factory coming out over here as well for BratOK. BratOK will be finishing that wall off. This is a big problem right now for DeathAngel, and I swear what we're going to see actually is BratOK's going to wait to fill it up with the Marine until this finishes, just so that DeathAngel can't cancel it. So, oh my gosh, look at that. The expansion finishes, in goes the Marine, and down goes the hatchery. The hatchery is starting to take damage right now. Already 2 Marines in. Here comes that, no, that's an SCV for repairs. I was going to say, here comes that 3rd Marine. So he's just going to be sticking with the 2. We've got a reactor coming out down on this ranks. We should be seeing a follow-up here with Hellions. But DeathAngel, this is looking a little scary for you, buddy. I'm not sure that he's going to be all set. And DeathAngel saying, oh boy, close positions in Metalopolis. Did he not even scout? No, he didn't. Well, I mean, now he realizes that the Overlord finally got over to the opposing base. But yeah, the ladder version. So there you go. He wasn't expecting the ladder version of the map. I'm guessing then this is coming from a tournament. But this is a little scary right now for DeathAngel. He's actually forced to produce a ton of Zerglings. He's going to need to try to get us around here. SCV will be trying to repair as much as possible. First target firing down the Queen, then should start working a couple of Zerglings, finally able to overwhelm. But, you know, unfortunately, he wasn't able to actually kill off the base, so BratOK didn't kill off the hatchery. He did do quite a bit of damage, and this is good for 2 reasons. One, he forced the production of all of these Zerglings. Those are not drones. Unfortunately, wasn't able to kill off the Queen, but that's not the end of the world. He weakened up this hatchery, so any secondary pressure has got a tremendous opportunity to do a lot of damage. And now, with all those Zerglings made early game and a metabolic boost delayed as a result, look at this Hellion push. Look at how much damage this is going to do. These Hellions can absolutely go to town on all of these Zerglings. The Queen going to be very crucial trying to defend those unupgraded Zerglings, but these Hellions have a tremendous opportunity. We've got 2 more Hellions moving on down as well, and here's that transition. I'm guessing into Marine tank right now. We do have that expansion coming on through. Let's take a look if he does end up going for that, or if he tries to go for Blue Flame. But here we go. Those Hellions just need to make sure they don't get surrounded. 1 Hellion is down. Unfortunately, BratOK tried to micro back that injured one. There you go. Very, very nice work. We still have some more Hellions coming out, so I'm guessing it actually might be that Blue Flame, but BratOK has done a lot of damage already. We'll take a look at those units lost right now. Actually, wow, overall, unfortunately, BratOK is behind, but the one big thing, as mentioned, oh, took out that Queen. That is huge. The one big thing that is mentioned, though, is that the drone count for DeathAngel is hurting quite a bit because he was forced to make all those Zerglings, and BratOK has managed to kill off most of those as well. Now, we do have a lot of roaches coming on through right now. Still some more Hellions for BratOK. BratOK is certainly paying attention to this engagement right now. Pulling back, though, with that one Hellion sitting with the 7 kills right now. Moving back into the main. So still more Hellions on the tech lab and no upgrade. I'm actually a little baffled as to why that is. Now he actually is just maybe getting enough Vespian. Maybe that's why it was delayed, because he didn't have the Vespian for it. We also had the second factory that he decided to come out with. But would really like to see that blue flame, especially since he's sitting on that tech lab. Here comes a big, strong roach push right now. And this might hurt BratOK. BratOK does not have a lot to deal with this. Those Hellions are not the best. He's going to need some repair. He's got the bunker up and nothing to go in it, so that first Marine will be heading on in. And there's the tank finally. That tank should help him quite a bit. But this roach counter push could do a lot of bit damage. Looks like he does take out that reactor. He'll be opening up a spot right now for any speedlings to stream on in. And those Hellions need to be so careful. There's that tank. The tank's going to need a repair, though. And hopefully this Marine comes on down to help as well. BratOK needs to be very careful with these roaches inside of his base. He will be counter-pushing right now with these Hellions. He managed to open up with quite a bit of damage, but let's see if he can manage to do it. Needs to be very careful again. Needs some SCVs to try to repair that tank and take out those roaches. He's taking advantage of the superior range right now. Hellions in the expansion trying to do what they can for damage, but the roaches pretty much doing a fantastic job mopping them up. There we go. Second tank coming through, as well as that siege tech. And as long as he micros properly, he should be okay against these unupgraded roaches without their speed. He should be able to micro back at least a little bit. Wants to repair. There we go. Repair going down on that one siege tank. Does he get away with it? I think he should be able to. And Zerglings, oh no, working out on this expansion. BratOK needs to lift it off. BratOK going to lose that orbital command. BratOK burning that orbital command. Zerglings getting ready to move on up, and we need BratOK to finish off this wall as well. BratOK opened up with a very strong push, but he's been getting assailed ever since. And again, he needs to finish off this wall off, or else we're going to have some Zerglings streaming right up into the main. We do have some layer tech coming on over here for DeathAngel. Got a few more extractors coming on through as well. A couple of Zerglings streaming across the map. He's actually droning up very hard right now. There we go, seeing a repair on that expansion. Siege tech should be finished very, very shortly. He is finishing off that wall off, moving back that factory as well. So there we go. Go ahead and set up those tanks there, BratOK. Otherwise, you could be in a lot of trouble. But pretty intense game thus far. BratOK surprisingly able to defend himself against the push that looked like it could have ended the game. Hellions running into some of those roaches will be forced to move on back right now. There we go. Tanks setting up. Should be getting off a few shots there on those roaches. Oh, no, and the roaches on hold position. Taking a few extra shots unnecessarily. Here we go right now. Hellions moving across the map for BratOK. Still no blue flame for them, but they can still manage to do a lot of damage. Let's see if he target fires down those workers. First trying to deal with those Zerglings. Getting surrounded, though, and the Hellions get mopped up there. Very nice response there by DeathAngel. Finally, BratOK landing back that expansion. Finally, that Infernal Prenator coming out as well. BratOK trying to get ready to move into a third as well, but oh boy, look at this. DeathAngel sitting at the high yield. Lots of Speedlings sitting over here. They actually have a great opportunity to do a lot of damage. Needs to be careful, though, from those Hellions. Zerglings trying to surround, and they are attempting to get that to burn again and forcing it to lift off because, again, BratOK didn't want that to burn up. Had that started burning, he would have had to waste more resources on a repair. BratOK Scout moving across. We'll be checking out that high yield, so he is spotting the fact that DeathAngel is trying to move over there. That is certainly quite unfortunate for DeathAngel. He definitely was trying to at least attempt to hide that, although it looks like BratOK was aware of that from that Marine sitting at that Xel'Naga tower as well. Overlord needs to be careful. Might be losing. I don't know why a ping went down. This is from an observer. Yeah, there's a bunch of observers in the game pinning the damn game. That is the last thing we want when trying to commentate. We've got another expansion coming on over here for DeathAngel as well. We do have a few Hellions, and are those blue flame yet? No, they will be very soon, though. Couple tanks moving across the map, getting surrounded by those Zerglings. Hellions moving to save the day, though, and see you later. DeathAngel lets that finish, and that's going to die. Very unfortunate that he didn't actually try to cancel that, something that he certainly should have done. A couple of blue flame Hellions moving across just to check what's going on, and look at that! Oh no, this is not good at all. Muta's moving out for DeathAngel. This is something that BratOK is not prepared for. He has some Thors coming out, though, so he might be all set if he can get those into play, but that is really too bad right now. He's losing the tanks, and he's going to be moving up with the Hellions, trying to do some economic damage. Let's watch those blue flames go to town on these workers. DeathAngel doing a good job of responding, still losing quite a few workers, though, unfortunately enough, and that is a little bit too bad. Now here we go. Muta's moving across. They do need to be careful, though, because that Thor poses quite a threat. We do have some strategically placed turrets here inside of BratOK's base. That was a very, very difficult word for me. All right, now Roach is moving out for DeathAngel. He'll be target firing down that turret. Then should be moving up to try to magic box that Thor. And BratOK trying to repair that Thor as much as possible. Mass repair going down, but the Roach is overwhelming it. Muta's still alive. Couple of roaches here in BratOK's expansion. BratOK will be forced to lift off again, and the Muta's killing it off. Oh, and DeathAngel doing so much damage right now to BratOK. BratOK is contained to one base right now. Not sure what he's going to do. He has no more tanks. What does he have right now? 1 Thor, 1 Marine, and 3 Hellions. That's pretty scary, especially considering what he's up against. This is certainly a drastic turn of events from what we saw the game initially open up with. But DeathAngel's been doing a fantastic job. Again, I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with what he's been able to do here so far to BratOK. BratOK, you know, DeathAngel, I've heard of him before. I haven't commentated any of his games in the past, and BratOK's certainly a very well-known player, but DeathAngel laying the hurt on, and here we go, moving forward. We'll be target firing down that Thor, and there are enough roaches to mop those up very quickly, killing off so many of these SCVs as well. Not good at all. Hellions trying to do what they can, but obviously Hellions not the best against the roach, and mopping up everything, killing off those SCVs, then moving forward, taking out that last Thor, and there's the GG. DeathAngel opened up this game going hatch first into pool extractor. Unfortunately, though, without an overlord spotting that hatchery, BratOK was able to get up a bunker and get some marines in there to do quite a bit of damage to that initial hatch. DeathAngel did work up enough forces, though, to completely surround and overwhelm that bunker. BratOK not managing to kill off that hatchery, and unfortunately wasn't able to get this queen either, so didn't really end up doing too much damage except for forcing DeathAngel to make Zerglings. BratOK then followed up with some Hellion harass with some nice positioning, though, and pulling back his drones upon spotting those Hellions. DeathAngel was able to defend himself without taking too much damage from these early game Hellion harass. Still sitting on Hellions, BratOK was not prepared for the roach counterattack that DeathAngel brought forward. He was able to take down the reactor, push on into the main base, and just be kind of a nuisance. He didn't really do too much damage in this push, especially since once these tanks came out for BratOK, he was able to micro away from those, but still getting inside of the base, killing off a few units as well as that attachment certainly wasn't what BratOK had hoped for. BratOK then tried to move into his expansion. Unfortunately, though, as soon as he landed it, we did see DeathAngel get a full surround and force the liftoff of this expansion. BratOK was still inside of his main dealing with the roaches at the time and actually ended up getting this to be burning, and that was a big problem because BratOK was then forced to repair it. DeathAngel attempted to expand in the middle. Now this was scouted out by BratOK, so what BratOK did is he moved forward with his tanks as well as his Hellions. Now with this, we did see the Zerglings around. That was taken care of from these Hellions. However, big problem is that we're seeing a transition from DeathAngel into Mutas, and although BratOK was able to take out this expansion, he ended up losing his tanks and a few of his Hellions from these Mutas. After taking out the tanks in the middle, DeathAngel pushed out with his roaches and mutas, target firing down this missile turret as well as that Thor, and was able to just completely overwhelm BratOK and force the GG. Alright guys, so as always, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed this commentary. Again, this wasn't a series, just a single game. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you like the content. As always guys, it certainly helps out quite a bit. Thank you so much for watching. And again, subscribe if you like it. I don't know, I'm all discombobulated. I'm sorry. Just subscribe or something. Or don't, and whatever. No big deal. Thanks again, guys. Keep watching and keep owning.